Hi and welcome to the next video in the series of Red Hat Certified System Administrator based on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. Today's video is on archive, compress, unpack and uncompress files using tar, star, gzip and bzip2. So the first ones we're going to focus on the two easier ones, which is gzip and bzip2. Gzip and bzip. Gzip's been used for a very long time. It's normally used in conjunction with the tar compression algorithm as well. So you have a tar and that. You can also use the bzip2 with the same. So I haven't really seen these very often just used on on their own, but in this case we need to make sure we cover all bases. So I'll just show you how to use those as well. So first let's go to a location where I've got all my few files built up. So just go to documents, I think it was. Just list the directory. So yeah, we've got file 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so first one I'll just compress a file. So for gzip it's as easy as gzip and then the file. Okay, no real output. And then we've got a file.1.gz that's compressed. Cool, that's the first one. So if we want to uncompress that with gzip, it's gzip -d and then file1.gz. And if we have a look here, we can see the file has been unextracted again. Okay, so with bzip2 we have pretty much the same command line, which is nice and helpful. So bzip2 file name, so let's just do file2 for the sake of being different. Okay, we've got files and it's got the bz2 extension, so then we just do bzip2 -d and then file2.bz2. Excellent. Again, we'll check and it's extracted. So that's really all you need to cover for bzip and gzip. So let's just do a clear screen for those two. So it's pretty simple. The command, then the file you want to zip, and it will automatically create the file name with the extension, and it looks like generally for the single file. And then you've got the tar, which then then you've got the -d, which then is actually to uncompress, I guess, or decompress. Okay, excellent. So we then have the tar option. So this is heavily used, so most people end up using tar. This application allows us to create zip multiple files in using bzip and gzip, which is something we can't do. So you use tar to create a one large file, and then you use the gzip and bzip to compress that one large file. So for example, we'll just create a tar file for an example. So tar, and the command line is a bit different from most things. It's you just specify the commands. You don't have to have a flag. I think you can put the flag, but there's no need to in this one. So create verbose and then file. It's good to have a verbose output anyway to get that one. So compress me. So we'll give whatever name you want to. So let's just do compressed.tar for the tar file, and then the file we want to compress. Just give it file1. Okay, so if we just do an ls, it's kept the original file and the compressed.tar now. So now let's do the same, but with an extra option. So if we do the z option, we add an additional extension here, .gz, and then if we do file2 perhaps, okay, let's do file1 each time, let's just keep it simple. So adding the Z, we're going to add the gunzip at the end. So that's why we've got the tar and then dot gunzip or gz. Okay, we do it again. Cool. Simple so far. And then if we want to do the bzip, lo and behold, it's not too dissimilar. The other extension, which is that bz2 file, and then instead of z we use j. Don't ask me why I selected the j character, it's not the easiest one to remember, but yeah, just remember to use j. And again, just do an ls. Okay, and now we can just do it like that. We can just see the file size differences. So we've got 10k. Yeah, it's all very similar because the files themselves are not very big. So most of it's actually used up by the compressing algorithms. Cool. So if you want to list out the contents of a tar file, we just do tar minus tf and then compressed.tar, and it just gives you what's in there. I'm not sure if you can do it with the gz. Yep, so you can do it with any of those extensions. So minus tf just to get just to list the files in there. So it's the minus t is the important part, or I don't think you need a minus like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, so just you can use the minus if you want to or don't, but most of the time you'll see on the internet, if you're looking at anything in regards to tar, you'll see that it doesn't have that minus on it. Okay, for the final bit for the tar is to extract the files. So let's just do a clear just to clean up the screen. So again, as you'd expect, we have three options: one for the straightforward tar file, one for the tar with the gzip, and one for the tar with the bzip. So tar x, which is extract, verbose, f for file, and then let's just do compressed.tar file 1. Cool. Actually, what we should probably do is just remove file 1, so we can just make sure it's actually extracting. Okay, so let's rerun that command. Now we have file 1 again. Remove file 1. Okay, so now let's do the .gz, and that's the the z option. gz, yep. File 1. Lo and behold, it's back again. And then one more remove. Let's do that again. So this one is J, not surprising enough. So it's very familiar. It's quite easy to pick up once you've got it. It's just remembering those few little differences with this command line. Yep, and then we just do. Okay, we've got all our files done. Okay, so the next one is the star command. So the star is essentially like tar, but with the addition of support for SE Linux. So SE Linux is security enhanced to Linux, and that allows you to use things like access controls and extended file attributes. And by using the standard tar command, you won't be able to capture those when you archive the file, so you essentially lose that information. So if you're using SE Linux, you have to use the star command. So the first step is to install it, because it's not installed by default. So it's just yum install, sudo of course, and just wait for it to install. Okay, it's going to download, install and verify. Yep, cool, that's installed. So like pretty much as before, just run the command empty to get a quick output to see exactly what the command line options are. It's fairly similar as before, so let's just go back to documents, and we've got those few files. I'll just delete those test files from earlier. Okay, so we've got file 1, file 2, file 3 and file 4. Okay, so we just do star -c for create, -f for file, and then equals, and then we just do file 1.star. So it's rather than tar, file 1.star. And what we actually want to compress, file 1 perhaps. Cool. So it's successfully compressed. Let's have a quick look, and we've got file 1.star as a compressed file. Excellent. You can be recursive with that, so you could say a whole directory to backup. So you could just potentially just say, so if we want to backup, say this whole directory rather, so we just do, let's just do files, because it's recursive, it makes it nice and easy to do that. So we can just do home, or we can actually use the tilde, which is a nice shortcut, tilde documents, like that. So 2 blocks total. So if we can do, so you have got this standard T and F. So let's just do a TF to see what's inside. Excellent. See, it's got all the files, and even file 1.star we created earlier. Excellent. Obviously that message there is just to say it's not going to put itself in the archive, otherwise you've got an archive that's an archive of an archive, you know, it can go infinite. So it's probably a good thing that it has that little safety feature there I had completely forgotten about. So to quickly talk about the additional features of star here, so I mentioned the access control lists and the extended attributes. So I'll just put a bit more information in the links below, but I'm just going to put some information on the screen as well. So there's 2 additional flags you can attach, which is to get these ACLs and the extended attributes. The first one for the extended attributes is -xattr, or extended attributes, and the other one is -H equals exustar, which basically exustar records the access control lists. Okay, so I've just put a bit more information about, so extended attributes are an extensible mechanism to store metadata on a file system. You know, metadata is like a collection of information or data points about a particular object. It would, if you compare it to a load of files, metadata contains who created it, maybe a description perhaps. You could have like a language, images, that sort of things, like the information about the file, not the file itself. It's more about the information about the file. Yeah, like if you take a camera's picture, it might have metadata about which camera type was taken, maybe the lens, the time of day it was taken, about. You catch my drift. Basically, that's the extended attributes. By having that on with the SE Linux, you have their 10 extended attributes to assign better ownership and stuff like that. You can describe more properties of the files. Files and directories have permission sets, and the group associated with the file, and all others users on the system. So when you typically in Linux, you have the owner of the file, which you set permissions for. Then you've got the group you've set permissions for, and then you set all others. So you can see it's not very flexible. You've got enough to, in most cases, to cover it, but you can only set a group, single group to that particular group. All other, but essentially worldwide, anyone can log in the system, can access it, and then find just the owner of the group. So you can only set really 2 properties. But you can get around that. That's why you have that access control list. That's the exustar option. So it's star minus x extended attributes minus h equals xustar, okay, minus c for create, minus f, then specify the file name. So we'll just do example.star, and then finally what file. Let's just say file2. Cool, all successful. So again, we can view the contents. It's not going to give us too much. Minus f equals example. Star. Cool, file2. And the final one I want to cover with star is the X option. So to extract, so just remove that file2 to make sure it's going. So let's just do that. So file2 is gone. So let's do an extract. So lo and behold, it's a minus X, pretty unsurprisingly, and we've got not much of an output, but we can see the files returned. So that concludes that. Don't worry if you don't understand too much about the SE Linux side of things so far. Just need to know around the star command and the basic format of those commands, because that will be something that may come up in the test. So for now, I'll leave the SE Linux stuff here. I will cover it later on in the later videos, because that's certainly a subject we'll have to explore a bit more around the security sections. I hope this video has been useful. There'll be many more coming up, so please subscribe and like the videos if you found them useful. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.